Today we're having a look at the Vault-Tec Regional headquarters located in the downtown of the Boston area. It's a rather small dungeon, but it has a few interesting stories for us. The place has several lunchboxes, a mini nuke, and some terminals for us to read those stories that I mentioned earlier. So once you enter into the reception area, you'll be greeted by a couple of ghouls. They are the main enemies that you'll be facing throughout this area. And this little storage closet might have some useful gear for you. Then move into the left side. Each of these are little offices once occupied by the finest salesmen in Vault-Tec, trying to sell and scheme and do whatever dangerous experiment they had planned for the next vault. At the end there's a little storage closet as well. Into the kitchen, we'll get our first Vault-Tec lunchbox. You might get lucky with your find. And then moving on to the second floor. If you are looking for technical documents, this place is rife with them. Just check every single table and you should leave with quite a few. There's also a lot of adhesive, economy wonder glues can be found throughout, and desk fans for screws and gears. Into the next portion here. This is the first office of a Dr. Reed. Now, this person was snooping about, realising Vault-Tec was maybe up to something. Let's have a read of Martin's terminal. So, we just shipped 15 cases of Psycho and Jet to Vault 95. Now, that's the one near Somerville Place where you'll take Kat to get her sorted with her drug problem. Of course, that makes total sense. Let's give these addicts more of what they put them in this situation to begin with. Davidson says it's to force them to make the hard choice, chems or getting clean. I say it's to cause a bloodbath. Obviously, it was. Now, next, Walter in the warehouse just told me that we received a massive shipment marked Vault 111, do not open. So, he opened it, and it was hundreds of gallons of liquid nitrogen. What could they possibly need that for? Obviously, Vault 111 is where you are first in the game, and it was the cryogenic vault. Next up, we've got the... That's it. I can't work under a manager who's so oblivious to what's going on around him. These vaults are supposed to be safe for these people, not a lab to run experiments on them. Davidson doesn't see it that way, or he's just ignoring it. Either way, I'm putting my 2-week notice in this morning, which was on the 22nd. Obviously, the bombs fell that day. So what a day to decide the Vault-Tec is evil and you don't want any more to do with it. Now, if you move on around here, find another little restroom. A restroom will have a mini nuke later on. And this is another little office area. Do take note that the stairs is right round here. I actually didn't know the stairs was there, and I spent way too long parkouring my way up using this path here. And there's a little bit of a ledge that, if you're really lucky, you can jump up onto. If you didn't get as fortunate as you did earlier, like I was, you can walk in this way and it'll get you a Vault-Tec lunchbox. Another one. In this case, a Mr. Gutsy model. Awesome. Moving on. Hello, little alien. We have the Boardroom, where a lot of scheming, no doubt, was taking place. A little bit of a recreational area. Playing some billiards. And then the office of Davidson, the one that was mentioned earlier, the manager of this place. I believe Dr. Reed is under the impression that the vaults in the Boston area will be used to harm its future residents instead of helping them. I told him he's just being paranoid. Vault-Tec would never do that sort of thing. Sharon spilled coffee in my new shirt while we were in the lounge this morning. I told her it was fine and we had a good laugh about the whole thing. If she does it again, I'll stab her in the throat with my pen. She's a good kid. So you can see Davidson's a little unhinged here. Next up, Dr. Reed is beginning to get on my nerves. All he talks about is his theories and how the vaults were built to run experiments on people and not actually to help them. I keep telling him that he couldn't be more wrong. If he keeps it up, I might have to discipline him. Obviously, Vault-Tec, all their military contracts, probably were pretty good at making people just disappear. Again, more wonder glue, more desk fans. It's quite the place, and all you have to do is fight a few ghouls. The one in Davidson's office will be slightly tougher than all the other ones that you will have faced thus far. Now, let's jump back down straight to the reception area. Now, we want to take the elevator. Remember the story that Davidson said about stabbing Sharon in the throat with his pen? That may come in handy in a few seconds here. Into the basement we go, and you can find that they were stockpiled with everything a vault might need. From chairs to those crates full of goodness knows what. Beds, toilets, everything. And a few ghouls. But remember Sharon? We believe this is her. Because she's dead. And, well, there's a pen here. Now, she does get mentioned in a terminal here, so let's have a little look at Walter Scott's terminal. Let's have a read of Walter's personal logs. I think Mr. Davidson has been getting annoyed with Martin lately. I told Martin that he should probably back off a bit because I know Mr. Davidson has a temper. I saw him break a pool cue over Roger's head because he stood too close to the table when Mr. Davidson was taking his shot. Roger still has trouble with his hearing in his right ear. I miss Sharon. She's been out for a couple of days and it's just not the same without her here. No one upstairs has heard from her. I'm starting to worry. Getting to see her face when I go upstairs for lunch was the highlight of my day. Now, Sharon's missing. And there's a door we can unlock. That opens this. Now, this is an expert lock, but it takes you out to Beacon Hill, so we'll exit out that way. And there's a mini-nuke just sitting in the toilet here with a plunger. And steamer trunk full of items, bobby pins, and a few ghouls that you'll have to deal with. Now, as I said, the body in there is presumably Sharon's. So that's why the pen's sitting beside it. Obviously, she did spill tea on Davidson again in his unhinged nature. He probably killed her. I've never known this exit. Oh. It's quite literally at the back in a street that I rarely ever use. If ever. Cool. Okay. So, where is the Vault-Tec Regional HQ? It is down in the downtown of Boston, close to the Charlesview Amphitheatre. You've got Swans Pond and the Boston Common not that far away. It is just nestled behind the State House itself. So, that covers it. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.